Reporters were suddenly scrambling on Friday afternoon of Labor Day weekend. That's when the FBI chose to put out its interview with Hillary Clinton over her private email server and an investigative summary of the case. Sarah Flores, Washington Post says the documents do not seem to provide any major revelations about Clinton's actions, though they paint her and her staff as either unaware or unconcerned with State Department policies on email use. Wasn't there more news in it than that?
I think it's incredible, and once again, the FBI doing Hillary Clinton a huge favor by putting it out on Friday of Labor Day weekend. But to be clear, if a private corporation had destroyed emails in anticipation of litigation, they would be in such enormous trouble. And I think this is a part where maybe you see a gap in political reporters who don't quite know the law as well, aren't entirely familiar with security issues, saying that there was nothing new here, when in fact I thought that that was explosive.
So what does it say to you that the Washington Post in its news story said no major revelations?
Yeah, they're going to be backtracking off of that as people point out to them that in fact this was a major revelation that they only wiped the server afterward.
It was the lead story in the print newspaper. So once again, so that sort of just underscores the degree to which major revelation, minor revelation. This email story is just like a chronic disease for Hillary Clinton, and there are just going to be flare-ups on it that, that started more than a year ago and that are going to continue till election day.
She said she couldn't recall many times and didn't seem 3 dozen, thank you, didn't seem familiar with some of the email classifications for security stuff. So on some kind of cosmic scale, how important is this story?
The question is, who is changing their view about Hillary Clinton as a result of this story, right? There are some people who think that the email story has been terrible and disqualifying all along, and there are some people who will either vote for her or never vote for Donald Trump, no matter what. And so the question is the kind of marginal impact of this drip, drip, drip. And I think it does have an impact, but it's not this drip, it's the kind of accumulation of drift.
It's been her inability to answer it, and then you're heading into this first debate, which will be so important for her.
Right, but I want to stick with the media's coverage here. So the media, I think, prefers smoking guns. You have a simple headline: Clinton did X. And here there wasn't exactly a smoking gun, but there was these new revelations that certainly didn't look good for her. So,
and we've had email revelations that we've thought were really important for the past year. And while I agree with you that the deletions, that is a new thread and that may go somewhere. We were hearing Jason Chaffetz, other Republicans, saying that they may pursue this. It's an allegation, and we don't know if this was her technical support guy trying to cover himself because he was supposed to delete this a year before. It was supposed to have happened a year before. I think it's going to be, like Ruth says, it's part of the drip, drip, drip. Personally, as a journalist, I think the much more important thread in this news stories about Hillary Clinton is going to be the focus on the foundations, because we have been talking about emails for so long that I do think for people who already have formed an impression about the emails, it's just going to be another drip, 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 and the real focus is going to be on the foundation.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, just one quickie thing. I think the reason that the destruction, I think the deletion of this emails was a huge mistake, and the deletion of it afterwards was a huge mistake. That thing that unsmokes the gun, if you will, is that there was absolutely nothing tying Hillary Clinton herself to it, and no evident knowledge of that. If that were true, then the gun would be, a machine.
Well, that's a fair point, but shouldn't the headlines have been, massive deletion of past emails, which may or may not have been incriminating, that we didn't know about until the FBI put this stuff out?
Absolutely. And more, I think the media should have covered more the 30 Benghazi emails that we're not sure if those were even turned over the first time. If that's the case, it's going to be very hard for Hillary Clinton to claim that she had no clue.
And on that point, Sarah Flores, Heidi Presbell, Ruth Marcus, great to see you here this Sunday.